I want it now!
Hello everybody, it's your boy the Punk Otaku Scribe. And man, between the success of Mutant Mayhem and Pluto TV getting the streaming rights of the classic 87 cartoon series, it's a good time to be a Turtles fan. Now, one or both of those things could be subjects of future videos, but what we're actually here to discuss is THQ Nordic's announcement of a video game adaptation of the Last Ronin comic book. For the uninitiated, The Last Ronin is a turtle story by Kevin Eastman and Peter Laird that centers around one turtle that has all but survived a great tragedy to their clan. This turtle, fueled by vengeance, vows to destroy Shredder's grandson who has taken over the city in a bleak dystopian future. This story is probably, if not the darkest story of the Turtles ever told. And man, I just can't get enough of it. And it would seem I'm not the only Turtles fan that shares that sentiment, as shortly after this main story was released, a spin-off / sequel was released called The Last Ronin and the Lost Years that featured a new team of young turtles that are going to be featured in a full-fledged sequel at the end of this year called The Last Ronin 2. And yes, of course, as previously stated, will be getting adapted into a video game by THQ Nordic. Now, this game is a big deal for two reasons. One being, the personal one, I just love the story so much. So to play it as a video game is going to be fantastic. It's probably my favorite turtle story ever, just ever. The second being, it's set to be a full-fledged AAA game, as confirmed by several news media outlets. This comes from Gizmodo.com. Let's give it a read, and then we'll further discuss. The Last Ronin's game adaptation is intended as a way for the Turtles to break into the AAA gaming leagues, and was first revealed back in March over at Polygon. At the time, Paramount's senior VP for games Doug Rosen described the title as a third-person action RPG in the vein of Sony's recent God of War games. And if that weren't AAA enough, it's also said to be aiming for an older audience. Whether that means it'll be M-rated or a hard T for teen remains to be seen, as The Last Ronin won't be out for another couple of years, assuming things go to plan. What is known is that it's expected to be fairly faithful to the source material, which itself is continuing later this year with a sequel comic. That's right. That said, in the vein of the recent God of War games. Now, that could mean a few things. It could be as violent as it is. It could mean that it could play the same. Its storytelling style could be the same. But in whatever case, that would fit this just fine, because this thing is not sunshine and rainbows, not even a little bit. So if any of those elements, if even all of them, are incorporated into this game, that's going to fit just fine. Especially the gameplay style. If you played those God of War games, the recent ones, Kratos has several different weapons that he uses, and you can switch between any one of those playing styles. The Last Ronin in this story has all the weapons of all four of the turtles and uses them. So, no matter what they do, if they do it justice, it's going to be perfectly fitting. Now, there are a couple of things that I think I should address to kind of temper our expectations and excitement a little bit. One of which being game development changes all the time. Delays happen, postponements happen. We just don't know. What games get postponed and delayed all the time. That article did say, if things go as planned, and sometimes things don't always go as planned. But another thing I want to touch on is the topic of the rating. They said that it could potentially go for M for mature or a hard T for teen. Would I want them to go M for mature to stay true to the source material? Yeah, absolutely. But do I think they're going to go that far? No. And here's why. At the end of the day, this is a Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles game. There's adult Turtles fans all the time. That grew up from liking the Turtles in the 80s. But they are the Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles. And while they claim that they want this game to bring in the adult gaming sphere, to bring the Turtles into the adult gaming sphere, it is a Turtles game at the end of the day. They're going to want to get the younger audience in there. And making it M for mature will make that inaccessible. Now, not entirely inaccessible. Kids are out there playing Grand Theft Auto 5 and whatnot every day. But at an M for mature, retailers are not legally allowed to sell Grand Theft Auto to younger audiences. So at a T for teen rating, it opens the floodgates for everybody to be able to buy a copy of the Last Ronin video game. I mean, if they go for the M for mature rating, I'll be ecstatic. That'll be awesome. That way they can go as far as they can to stay as truthful to the nature of the Last Ronin story. But I don't see that happening. So, at T for teen, you can go pretty violent, you can go pretty dark, you can go pretty gritty, but they're going to need to temper some things to satisfy that rating. So I think T for teen is what we're going to get. And, if it's a good game, it's a good game. The rating won't matter. But ultimately, that's my prediction. I think that's what they're going to do with that. Now, as of right now, the Last Ronin game adaptation is only slated to come out on current gen systems. That's the PS5, Series X and S, and of course PC. Nothing concerning Nintendo is said to be for this game at all. But who knows what the future is going to be for Nintendo in a couple of years if the game does come out as planned. But as of right now, PS5, Xbox Series X and S, and PC. And I think it's a pretty good move. I think in about a couple of years' time, we'll have been far removed from previous gen. Even this year, the games coming up for the holiday season, I don't think a lot of them, if any of them, are for the last gen. But at the same time, they're also coming out with remasters of Red Dead Redemption for the PS4 and a PS4 port for Jedi Survivor, which, okay, so maybe we're not moving on from previous gen this year just yet. I don't know, but in a couple of years, I think we will be far removed, and them putting this game on just current gen consoles is a good move. In any case, I truly do hope that this game comes to fruition, that it actually does happen, that THQ Nordic is able to get things in motion as planned and get this game out, because the world of this game and its narrative structure and its atmosphere is just perfect for a violent, gritty video game. It is perfect for it. And if it's done justice, will be an absolute slam dunk. So I really hope that they can make this happen. What I would really want, though, is a dark and gritty animated Last Ronin movie, which, with the success of the story, I'm surprised they didn't do as well with the game. Maybe they'll do it, if the game is successful enough. Maybe they're not going to do it at all, but man, I really would like to see that too, and I thought that's what they're going to do first. That was my theory. But, hey, we're getting a video game. That's cool too. Anyway, I just wanted to come on here, share my excitement and enthusiasm for this. What do you think? Are you excited about The Last Ronin getting a video game? Do you not like the Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles at all? Did you want the animated movie first? Let's talk everything Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles down in the comments. Anyway, that's going to do it for me on this little video. Be sure to follow all my socials, linked down in the description. I've been the Punk Otaku Scribe, and I'll see you in the next one.
Has got the sunshine blues. She ain't going to lose. Everyone's a burden of bad news, crashing down on our good times.